I really do have to commend you because your fan base is crazy. Before I knew of you, I knew of your Bobby Soxers and of your RattPack because they spread the word about it. How does that come about? Because that's even before, like, industry knew you. We caught you off of the XXL Freshman cover, but your fans are just really kind of like your street team.
Yeah, they really are. It's funny that you say that because Chris, my manager, always says like our fan base is the best street team that's possible because
Really,
it's just
though?
like word of mouth and everything. I think it's because they can relate to, they just relate to the music. They have fun. They enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of in their demographic. I'm a younger guy. I look even younger. I look 12 years old.
Right.
So I feel like they just relate to it and they enjoy it. But having that fan base was really amazing because a lot of like hip hop artists, what they do is they kind of break in hip hop, like they get in that little circle of hip hop, like all the tastemakers vouch for them, and which is awesome and they're dope. But they have to break out of that and then get fans, you know, that aren't necessarily in just the hip hop demographic. And we kind of did it backwards, and it's been a blessing. Because we had all these fans, and then, you know, we get this XXL thing, and then obviously the Def Jam thing, and everybody's like, who in the hell is this guy?
Exactly.
And, you know, like we got these tours coming up, and we're selling out House of Blues and all these things, and everybody's just like, what the hell is going on? And it couldn't happen at like a better time.
And more so with the XXL Freshman cover, do you feel like since it's this year and you're on it, that's an added pressure to either complete or make something of yourself this year than it would be had you not been on the cover?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. But I think this project just solidifies my spot on that cover. I think, you know, after dropping Welcome to Forever, everybody's kind of like, damn. And I mean that in the most humble way possible. But they're kind of like, wow, you know, he does deserve it. He works very hard, and he's got a fan base, and it makes sense. And he's kind of executing everything the right way. And I've been seeing a lot of love from hip hop, from the industry, and it's awesome.
And when you talk, let's talk Welcome to Forever, the project, the mixtape. Basically the last mixtape, because you're signed. You're Def Jam. That's it. Album from now on. Does that feel crazy to just be off mixtapes?
Yeah, it does feel really crazy because it's like, and that's all you know. That's your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Jay. Like all Jay knows is albums. Like, why would Jay do a tape? That's all he knows, and he's in the position to do that. But I feel like, man, I've given I have 1,500 songs in my personal catalog. I think now I'm at 150 or 160 songs that are public to the fans, you know, that they can check out. And it's like, that's a lot of music. That's a lot of free music. That's, you know, that's 9 years of hard work. And I think we're all ready for an album. I think we're all ready to make that transition. You know, I've given them a lot of free music, and they're like, they keep saying like, why are you giving me this for free? I want to pay you for it. I want to pay you for it. And hey, I just hope you guys support on the album and buy 10 copies.
And you, as an artist, Logic, we know you. The initial draw is your lyricism, and then you have tracks on there with like Trinidad James and like Kid Ink. And as for like reading through it or just checking the song out, you think like, all right, what is he trying to do? Because we saw the backlash that J. Cole got with the 2 Chainz record, then he has him on him. But we see how you kind of bridge the gap. Is that what your intent is?
Of course, 100%. Because like everybody, like you said, everybody knows that I'm like the lyricist guy, like I'm the rapper, you know what I mean? But I also want to create music, like sonically just great music. And I think a lot of my fans saw that track list and were like Trinidad James, like, oh my God, like first and foremost, Trinidad is a homie of mine. He's an incredible person. He's he's really dope, and he makes great music for great occasions, and that's that turn up, that's that fun music. And I feel like him as well as Kid Ink really added something to that record. I've never rapped on a trap beat. That's one of the most commercial records that I've ever done. I think that and Ballin' on Welcome to Forever. And you know, I chose them because they just fit, you know, and even though my fans might have been like, I don't understand, they hear it and then they get it. It's like time and place for everything. That was time to turn up, and who better to turn up with than Kid Ink and Trinidad James? And, you know, me, I'm not jeopardizing my lyrics or my flow or my anything on the record, so everybody's happy.
Okay, another record on the project, 5 a.m. Just for clarity, that has nothing to do with Drake's 5 a.m. in Toronto.
It has nothing to do with Drake's 5 a.m. in Toronto. It's funny because I remember I was in the studio. I think Noah was there too. And he's like, yo, you're going to have to change that name of that record, man. And because it just came out. And I was like, damn, you're probably right. But then I thought about it, and I was like, dude, like, I the reason I called the song 5 a.m. is because I made it at 5 in the morning. Like it happened to just wrap it up at 5 in the morning, and I could have called it Right Now. I could have called it, Bring It Back Down. I could have called it whatever, but I was kind of on my Kid Cudi where I just have this cool random title to this song, and it just felt right. So no, there's no correlation, but Drake's awesome.
Drake is awesome. I heard you're a big fan of Drake. Both you, Drake, and J. Cole, and you even said this in your cipher with the XXL Freshman, that you guys have a kind of like a brotherhood because you all are half black and half white.
Yeah.
So we know that it can happen. There can be a half black, half white rapper, but you're the half that looks more white than looks more black.
All white. I look all white. You can say it, Rikki. It's all good.
Well, I think like a Blake Griffin. You could tell there's something there.
I look pretty white. You see my blue eyes? Okay.
Is it harder for you because of that?
No, I think it's a lot easier. I think it's harder and easier. It's harder to be accepted, but it's a great thing, man. Because I know that like when I put out videos, people look at it and they're like, "Who the hell's this white boy?" Like if it's on a blog, like, "Oh, white boy," click just to hate or let me see what's up, and then they're like, "Oh shit!" Like, damn, the white boy can actually rap. But he's still white, and then somebody's like, "Yo, he's half black," and he's like, "Oh, he's a brother? Okay, he's cool." Then it's funny how it goes. But I just make music. I grew up in a very predominantly black family. I'm the only person who actually looks white. Like, my father's black, my mom's white, but all the children on both sides all look black. So that's just me. I'm just proud to be who I am.
There you go.
And tell my story. But I want people. It's not like I'm trying to like shove it down people's throats or anything. Pause. I just want, shout out to Bobby, pause. I just want people to know that I'm proud to be what I am. I'm proud to be black, and I'm proud to be white. I'm proud to be a person of mixed ethnicity. And
before this label signing, like I said, when you had your audience and the people that supported you, you had big names come with you. You met Nas, dude. Yeah. And in your tape, you talk about how he rapped your lyrics to you. What lyrics did he rap to you?
It's funny you say that. So I was in a car with Chris, my manager. Shout out Visionary Music Group. Bam. And he gets a call or whatever, and he's like, "What?" And then he hangs up the phone, and he's like, "Yo, Nas wants to meet you." And I was like, "What? That's amazing. That's awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, so we're gonna go to this rooftop in Manhattan right now and go meet Nas." And I'm like, "All right." So like we go, and he was shooting this thing for like ESPN. So he's on top of this big ass building, and you can see the Empire State in the backdrop, and it was really crazy. And he was like, and there was like champagne around him and stuff in front of him. And I was like, "Oh, I see you with the champagne," just kind of pulling his leg. And he was like, "I ain't got none of that $100,000 wine though." And that's a line that I have from the song called Numbers. Yeah. So when he said that, I was like, "Oh shit, this is crazy. I can't believe that I'm having a conversation right now."
That's dope. And then from Nas to No ID, executive producing your debut album, do you? And we got a taste of what's to come with the Welcome to Forever track, the Man of the Year.
Yeah.
Are we working on the album?
Yes, we are working on the album. I've been working on this album since forever. Like I've got records, I've got lyrics, I've got concepts, I've got beats, I've got everything. You know what I mean? But I'm really enjoying this time with the mixtape, and by no means does that mean that like I'm taking off or I'm not working as hard or anything like that. But I'm about to go on tour, and the funny thing is on this tour, I was just talking to Noah, my A&R. Shout out, Def Jam. I was just talking to him about how I plan to come back from this tour and have damn near like 80% of the album written just by the time I get back.
Wow.
And like I remember, No ID telling me, he was like, "Yeah, man, we did 808 and Heartbreaks in 2 weeks." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "You know." And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "No." He's like, "Yes, we did it in 2 weeks." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "The beats were done, the raps were written in 2 weeks." And I was like, he's like, "Obviously it took to produce it and to create it." Yeah, but he's like, the whole gist of everything was done. And I feel like in my head, even the album's done. I'm thinking about my second album. You know what I mean?
Already.
I'm thinking about what kind of project do I want to put out for my fans between my first album and my second album to not only stay relevant but keep my fans like I'm thinking light years ahead, because in my head the album's finished.
Now you have this cat within your past mixtapes, Marty Randolph. He kind of represents the record labels. He represents the Illuminati. Yeah. And then for you to go from that to signing, do you feel like that helps you kind of leeway into signing and just show everyone you're not about that?
I think so. The reason I did that, so With Marty, I just created him because, do you remember? It was like 2010, and that's when everything in the hip hop, like the whole Illuminati, like Jay-Z and all this stuff, like, and you see all these World Star videos and these people like breaking
You're
down
gonna see
stuff.
This video's gonna come out because your necklace, you're in the Illuminati.
Yeah, I know, because I have a pharaoh.
Yeah.
Illuminati, no, you know, and even in 5 a.m., I'm like, I forget what I said, like, so successful, you probably think I signed with Satan, but I got God on my side, always down to ride. So it's like letting people know, you know, I'm a God-fearing man. I don't push my beliefs or anything on anybody. I just represent what I'm about. But yeah, so that was back then. It was like 2010. I just kind of thought it was funny, so I was like, let me create this really funny skit. And I was also inspired by Wale's Cliche Records skit off 100 Miles in Running. So shout out to Wale. He had something it was kind of similar, but I felt like this would also be funny. And J. Cole had one too, and he talks about like T-Plane calling him. It's just really funny, and I kind of wanted to do one like that, something that was not serious, because sometimes some of my records can be dark. I do have happy records and other things, but I wanted something to kind of break the mold and some of those just be funny. Right. But little did I know that this is a character that was going to follow me throughout, you know, my career this far.
Have you came across someone in the industry that's like a Marty Randolph?
Yeah, his name's Noah Preston. He works at Def Jam.
Don't say that because you signed to him.
Oh,
don't say that.
No. Hell yeah. And I talk to No Idea about it all the time. I was at his crib. Stunt. I was at No Idea's house. And he was like, yeah, man, I just had a meeting with some Marty Randolphs today.
Uh-oh.
And it's so funny that he like remembers that and he says it. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of Marty Randolphs in this industry.
And to go on further beyond what you're doing with music, you want to be an actor?
Yeah.
What is it? Like, because sometimes it's hard because people say, like, if you're not in that one lane, you're kind of, if you're trying to branch out to other things, they don't take you as serious. Like, they don't take a rapper serious in acting.
I look at Will Smith.
And that's your inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of them. Like me, I'm like a really goofy person. Like all my fans know that. Like I'm a funny guy. I don't try to pretend to be anything that I'm not. Yes, I'm serious at times. I'm, you know, all business at times. I'm all personal at times. I'm fun at times. You know, that's just who I am as a person. So it's like, but if I ever do, you know, when I actually do, you know, plan to really just go all in with acting, I'm not going to do like a comedy or something because I want to be taken seriously. So I do something like 500 Days of Summer, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Hey.
Which is, and he's really super dope. It's like something like that where I could be taken seriously and then just see where it goes. But if you look on Twitter, there's like women out there that's like, yeah, I'm a singer, actress, dancer, this. No, it's like you need to master your craft before you can move on to something else. So is acting in my sights? Yes, of course. But I'm just gonna, just wait until it's right.
Let's talk about the crew.
Okay.
Visionary and the RattPack. What do you see for yourselves now that you're basically the lead? You are the guy that's kind of carrying your crew. What do you see with everyone else, or how things are going to come with you guys?
I think it's going to be, I think we are, the modern day Rockefeller. And if that may sound arrogant or whatever, I don't mean it to be, but you have to have vision and you have to believe it. And I see what Jay did with The Rock and what Dame did with The Rock, and I see myself as that Jay, and I see Chris Zaru, president of Visionary Music Group, as that Dame, right. It just in this era, in this time, and we're just some young guys trying to run it. Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, no, but I want to be better than that. Like when I look at Jay and I look at Kanye, like they're incredible, but I want to be better than them. And some people are going to say, hey, that's crazy. But dude, why not? Why not want to be the best, one of the greatest of all times? Am I saying I'm better than Jay-Z and Kanye? No.
Right.
I got a very long way to go, but I'm saying that, hopefully one day I can be, and I'll do everything I can. Like if Kanye hit me tomorrow and was like, yeah, I saw you on Power 106 with Rikki Martinez, you was talking shit, all right, get on this record with me then. I'm gonna do my best to kill Kanye,
right?
On that record in a very friendly manner. But because this is hip hop and this is music, and you gotta have fun, and you have to strive to be the best.
There you go. Like we started this, I commend you for all you're doing, and just for the I guess movement that you're starting and the people that are following you, because more and more people are getting to know you. Is Young Sinatra, is your Frank Sinatra, like, your, I would say, co-character? Is it someone like...
Oh, like, you mean like a...
Is that over with?
Like an alias?
Because that's these past three mixtapes.
Yeah.
If we're done with the mixtapes, are we done with the Young Sinatra as well?
Definitely not. We're definitely not done with Young Sinatra as an alias and as like a theme, because if we're done with Young Sinatra, that means we're done with RattPack, and my fans are too big now to ever be done. They can't just drop. There's no way. They are the RattPack. We are the RattPack. That's how I see me and my crew, my family. But as for that title,
Right.
Young Sinatra on projects, I do believe that is it. This is it, and I wanted to go out strong, and I think I did.
Definitely.
And yeah, but everything is always going to be Sinatra related one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be. It's he's very just a huge inspiration. So I can't just leave my man in the past.
That's dope, man. Well, you look forward to what's to come from you. Shout out to the RattPack. I know your Bobby Soxer girls are checking this too.
Yes.
Shout out to Visionary. Shout out to everybody. Logic, thank you for coming through.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Big Boys Neighborhood.
Swag. Awesome.